So I am working on creating a gardening journal to help me with everything. And one of the things that I'm adding in my gardening journal is this entry about my composting experience. And I might share it on Facebook too. We'll see. Anyway, so when we first moved in, the first thing we wanted to do was to get one of these Vivo Sun composting bins. We actually had gotten a different one when we were in Idaho, and it was really big, but the problem was it took forever to fill up the bins, and then you have to leave stuff basically alone for a while as it composts, just spinning it occasionally, which is what I'm doing with this sucker. And it was heavy, and I'm probably going to be the one doing most of the work. So we chose to get a smaller one that holds less, but that I could spin on my own, one-handed even. So this is the mess that we've been making since we bought the place in February. And this is a nice combination of mostly weeds that we had pulled from the property, along with kitchen scraps. And I actually just added this container, is what I keep inside, and it keeps my kitchen scraps. And I try to dump it 2 to 3 times a week. Anyway, I'm only adding kitchen scraps to this one when it gets dried out. But as you can see, this one is quite full. Whoops. We keep rotating it. I try to rotate it 2 to 3 times a week, checking on the moisture in it. But it was overflowingly full for a while, and so we started piling up all this. But I really hate this because I drenched all of this right before 4th of July because I was terrified. So we kind of went back and forth on what we wanted to do, because we have this gorgeous, huge stretch here of open space. And originally I was thinking about adding in a finishing composting bin, building in a worm garden, and I may end up doing those things eventually, but we were looking at what would be fastest and cheapest to facilitate our current plans. And so what I ended up deciding was I needed another compost bin for sure, but also we're not going to compost bin the compost bins with all of this craziness. So we got this compost bin the end of June, and Robbie and I put it together. And then I filled it with, mostly it's paper, was the brown goods. And then I took a lot of the newer stuff from here that I had just weeded. And as I'm weeding new stuff, I'm adding it into this compost bin, along with the kitchen scraps, and trying to divide them between the two options. And then I have these nitrogen packages, and then, I just added half of that into this, so I'm stirring it. This one's so much lighter. It's like, whee! I can do it with one finger. The difference. The other one, I'm like leaning my whole arm in to spin. But anyway, so I try to rotate these 2 or 3 times a week. And then this stuff is going to be used for sheet gardening. And I will walk you over to where we're going to be starting that. For anybody who is watching my sustainability videos, you'll see that I'm smashing up a bunch of glass and stuff too. Luther, come on. Oops. He will get really upset if I leave him on the side of the fence. He jumps this fence, but he's a lazy dog, and this fence wasn't properly concreted. I don't entirely know what they did, but if you lean on it, the whole thing moves. You see how that whole thing moves? And so when he jumps over it, we had to push it back into place a couple times now. So I don't want him to do it. It's more a decorative fence. Anyway, back to, so that composting stuff. once we get our concrete works going, we're going to put 3 to 5 garden beds back here. I'm going to start with 3 this season. And so I'm going to print up the concrete cement pieces to line it out through here. I think we're going to end up putting these in the barn. I think they get way too much wear and tear outside. They were on this, but then July 2nd we had a huge windstorm and they were tucked over there. So yeah. Anyway, but this is going to be our little garden area. 3 beds for sure, possibly 5 beds, but I know that we're going to put the pool right here eventually. So I don't want our vegetable garden too close to that. And we're going to put up a shade sail, probably from the roof over, because there's no shade in this corner. It basically gets sun all the time. And in Arizona, that does not make ideal gardening. So, yeah. But that's what we're doing with the composting stuff. And I just wanted to get that all updated in my garden journal. And this video helps me cover all of that faster than typing it out in notes. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so yeah, I worked on the composting and now I'm off to go do some weeding and cleaning. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Until next time, keep growing.